Breaking news this morning, Belgian media reporting as many as 13 people killed in several explosions in Brussels.
And two of these explosions, they happened right at the Brussels airport in a terminal. The other happened at a metro station in the center of the city.
Yeah, details are still coming in, but this is a live look from Brussels. You can see some of the emergency crews there near the airport responding to the scene. Again, all these details still coming in, but everything really started about 3:30 in the morning, our time, 8 o'clock in the morning, right in the middle of the busy commute for them. And the attacks at the airport were told centered on an American Airlines desk. It was in the departures area. Officials say all flights are canceled. All public transportation is shut down. The city is now at maximum terror alert level.
Yeah, so it's basically the waiting game over there. This comes, of course, these explosions as the Belgian capital is on high alert following the arrest of Paris attack suspect Salah Abdeslam in the city last Friday. He's the main suspect in those Paris terror attacks that happened last November.
Yeah, we're going to come back to that tie-in here in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we actually know someone very close to me that most people here at CBS 6 know that is at the airport this morning, at the Brussels airport. His name is Dave Dwyer, and he was in the terminal where the explosions went off. He's okay, but he sent us in these photos. This is where he is right now. They've evacuated everybody out of the airport. Immediately, they brought them out onto the tarmac. Then they brought them into these aircraft hangars. He says there are thousands of people in these aircraft hangars where they have some medical units there to assist with the injured, and he says that it's freezing in there. But apparently it's just absolute chaos there because nobody really knows what's going on because
at the very least, everybody's safe. At least that's there right now. But obviously the terror alert in Europe, really across much of Europe, I would expect this morning. I saw France amping up its terror alert status. So we're going to keep you updated on everything happening specifically in Brussels this morning and anything else that might happen this morning.
Yeah, we also know the French president will have an emergency meeting later today involving these Brussels attacks. New this morning, though, in the hunt for those involved in planning last year's terror attacks in Paris. After capturing Salah Abdeslam last week, investigators are now saying that there's a new suspect out there, Najim Lashriawi, the group's possible bomb maker. Police say his DNA was found on the explosive used in the Paris attacks. Investigators say they're not sure where he is. Prosecutors also admit even with the recent developments, they're not any closer to solving this puzzle. Investigators believe Abdeslam played a central role, though, in those Paris attacks and was actually planning to blow himself up when all of that was going on, but then changed his mind. And they believe he and this new suspect may have been plotting future attacks as well.
Coming up on 6:03 this morning, we also want to get a check out the door this morning. Craig, some of us with some snow on the windshields.
Yeah, it's funny. Julia, actually, she puts on her windshield. She spells out in the snow, really, with a question mark? Yeah, really. Unfortunately, some spring snow showers this morning coming to an end, though, so there's the good news as the radar is fairly dry now. Upper 20s for the most part, some middle 20s and lower 20s working our way a little further north. So a chilly start. We'll wind up near 50 later today, though, so sun to start. Snow showers have come to an end, and then clouds will be on the increase a little bit later on today. There's your forecast. What about your traffic?
All right, Craig, thanks. We are on I-90 exit 3 for the state campus. Eastbound traffic there at the bottom of your screen. No real traffic to speak of out there right now. 511 has you accident and incident free. That's your CBS 6 Eye on Traffic.
Happening today, the Assembly Committee will consider legislation to legalize and regulate mixed martial arts in New York. As of right now, this state is the only one in the country where the sport is still illegal. But that all could change with an Assembly floor vote that could come as early as today. Carrie Beal joining us live outside of a UFC gym in Albany this morning where the owners, they've been big advocates for this bill. So, Carrie, how close is this legislation to even passing? And if it does, what could this mean for the state?
Well, we just moved inside. We're inside a rink in the UFC gym, and the owners here say this legislation could generate millions from businesses like this, also tournaments that could be held throughout the state from all those spectators that come to watch the professional matches. It's also an opportunity for amateur athletes to really take it to the next level, perform in their own state, and then become a professional athlete. We'll talk with one of those amateur athletes in just a minute, but here's some main points of the legislation. Under the new law, the State Athletic Commission would regulate the sport and accident insurance would be required for athletes. The commission could also perform studies to promote safety in the profession. Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie said last week there are now 80 Democrats supporting the bill, which is more than needed to pass it through the Assembly floor. Governor Andrew Cuomo is expected to sign the bill if it's approved. I'm here with Dan Jones. He's the owner of the UFC gym here, one of the managers, and he's also an amateur athlete. Let's first start with safety. There's a lot of safety concerns with professional MMA fighting. How would you address that?
I'd say, you have to look at it kind of like boxing. Pre-regulation and pre-legalization, we had a lot of problems with safety, a lot of shoddy events, bad promotions, doing things that were bad for fighter safety. Now that we have a sanctioning body, once it becomes legal, we'll have the same kind of safety, restrictions in place as boxing. And with the Boxing Commission, they do a great job with the fighters, like pre-fight and post-fight testing for, CTE, mental difficulties, that kind of thing. So I think it's great for the fighters. It's great for the area. It's going to be great for the gym, too, because we have a lot of members here that enjoy, going to fights, watching some of the guys that are developing in here, and seeing their progress over time. And before, that was something we could only do out of state. So now we offer a mixed martial arts program. You could come in here as a young kid and learn those techniques and do it the right way, not out of somebody's garage. This is a very safe, clean environment. We have professional coaches here.
Yeah, it's a professional place to come. All right, well, we'll continue to go live with Dan Jones here all morning and have more on this. I'm Carrie Beal reporting live in Albany for CBS 6 News.
Carrie, thanks. Taking a look at the race for the White House today, voters in Idaho, Arizona, and Utah will decide who should be their party's presidential nominee. More than 200 delegates are up for grabs today. On the Democratic side, frontrunner Hillary Clinton looking to extend her lead, while Donald Trump's rivals are hoping to slow him down. On Monday, Trump focused on foreign policy during a trip to Washington, where he suggested the U.S. should rethink its involvement in NATO, saying the U.S. is paying too much and the world is different now than it was when the idea was created. Ted Cruz and John Kasich, though, quick to respond.
It's a dangerous world. If America withdraws, we get the kind of chaos that Obama Clinton has produced.
As a leader of this country, you want to be very careful, and I wouldn't say that now.
While in Washington, Trump tried rallying support from party leaders and also spoke at the AIPAC conference, saying the days of treating Israel like second-class citizens will end when he's president. For the Democrats, Clinton used her AIPAC speech to target Trump, saying the U.S. needs steady hands. Bernie Sanders skipped the conference and campaigned in Utah, where he needs to pull off a win today. In Albany, the Common Council has voted to keep a controversial trash collection fee. The so-called trash tax was signed into law at the beginning of the year by Mayor Kathy Sheehan. Last night, 25 people addressed the council as its members considered repealing the tax. It charges the landlords of 2 to 4 unit apartment complexes $180 per unit per year, with the first unit free. Many landlords say they'll pass those increased costs on to their tenants. Those who spoke against the tax called it unfair and discriminatory. Ultimately, the council voted 8-5 to keep the tax as is.
6:08 happening today in Albany. Nonprofits and elected leaders are to gather at the Capitol to voice their support for the $15 minimum wage. During the rally, the organizations will call on their opponents to stop using nonprofits as a scapegoat for maintaining the status quo of low wages. Instead, they're asking legislators to make the necessary investments to fund the wage increase. This rally begins today at 11 o'clock, and it's at the Capitol. Counseling is going to be available today for staff and students in the Cooperstown Central School District after the death of the district's superintendent over the weekend. State police say it appears Clifton Hebert was killed in an ATV accident in the town of Richmondville. Hebert had served as the superintendent since 2010. The district did cancel all classes yesterday, but they will resume on a regular schedule today.
6:09, Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin has released new numbers from the final round of testing in North Bennington for PFOA, the chemical that's been linked to cancer. It's believed to have come from the old ChemFab plant in town. Of the 43 new results, 8 private wells showed PFOA levels above the Vermont Health Department's advisory level of 20 parts per trillion. Those 8 results ranged from 25 parts to 241. This brings the number of wells tested to 185. 104 have come in at above that advisory level. Petersburg and Hoosick Falls, of course, also dealing with this PFOA water crisis. CBS 6 will be hosting a town hall event on these situations. It's April 14th right here in our Niskayuna studios, and you can be a part of our audience. To sign up, just visit our website, cbs6albany.com.
In North Carolina, the state's General Assembly returning for a special session. The controversial legislation recently passed that they are trying to override.
And a national animal rights group still causing problems for SeaWorld. What PETA says the park should do with the remaining killer whales in captivity.
All right, kind of a chilly start to the day. We're in the upper 20s right now across downtown Albany and the rest of the area. Now, some places will see a warming trend this week. Others, not so much. Going to have a front that'll sort of divide the area between colder air and warmer air. I'll let you know which side of the front you're on and who could see some wintry precip this upcoming mid-portion of the week when we come back.
And showing you another live look here at the Brussels airport where 2 explosions happened earlier this morning. We're hearing at least 12 people dead, dozens more injured.
We're going to stay on top of this story, bring you more live looks, and we'll let you know what's developing there this morning. All right, breaking right now. We're still following that situation in Brussels, Belgium. We're taking a live look right now at the streets outside the airport. It's just dropped out for us there for a second. This is actually, I believe, where we expect to hear from French President Francois Hollande, though I don't believe that's... all right, we're going to jump ahead, go ahead to traffic here for a second while we figure out what's going on. Over there, taking an interesting look here at the SPUI camera for exit 6, routes 2 and 7. You can see the exit moving along fine over there. I-90 exit 5 for Everett Road also moving along. No problems at all. 511 has you accident free. That's your CBS 6 Eye on Traffic.
All right, thanks a lot, Jack. Sun comes up in just a little bit under an hour. Should be a nice day today. Got rid of the snow showers this week. We'll feature the typical spring air mass battle. So warmer air is trying to make it in, but colder air is being a little bit stubborn across parts of the area. We'll explain. Challenging temperature and precipitation forecast as a direct result of that. Some areas could see a little bit of a wintry mix as we work our way through the middle part of the week. Good news is, though, Easter weekend looking good. I'm going to break it all down for you. So a little bit of a warm-up as we go through the afternoon today after a chilly start. Should wind up in the lower 40s by lunch and topping out near 50 later today. We'll start out sunny, and then clouds will increase as we go through the course of the day for today. All right, 29 degrees, latest check at Albany International Airport. The snow showers we had not too long ago. You may find some snow on your windshield this morning. Don't worry, we're done with the snow. Didn't really amount to much of anything, but snow showers now coming to an end, so good news there. We are going to wind up with, like I said, at least a nice sunny first half of the day before clouds will start to increase from the west later on this afternoon. So here come the clouds. And then overnight tonight, a front is going to settle in from the northwest. It's going to stall out across the area. It's going to give us chances for showers overnight tonight, maybe even a little bit of a wintry mix as we work our way further north. Now, areas to the north of that front, here's the front that's going to be settling on in. Areas to the north of the front will potentially be dealing with a little wintry mix overnight tonight, and then another shot of it as we go into Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We do expect to see some showers likely for tomorrow across Albany, but points southward across the Mid-Hudson Valley tomorrow, I think you'll be more likely to just see an increase in the clouds, and you're more than likely just stay dry. All right, so here's what happens. As we go into Thursday in the morning, you can see that wintry mix north of Albany. So from Saratoga County northward, could see a little bit of a wintry mix. Then an area low pressure off to our west is going to finally kick all this out here by Friday in the morning. But before then, we're going to see a gusty south wind. Temperatures will warm up a little bit as we go into Thursday in the afternoon, and we'll see a good chance for rain for Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, but we'll dry out for the weekend. Temperatures outside right now, like I said, a little chilly to start out, especially as you go north. Glens Falls at this hour at 22. That Gloversville 43 is not right. We'll get that thermometer checked, but that's not right. 29 degrees in Albany, 27 in Bennington, 25 in Pittsfield. So a chilly start to the day. All right, so we're looking at temperatures warmest across the Mid-Hudson Valley. Lower 50s there. About 50 for the capital region, including Albany, Schenectady, Troy. We're looking at middle 40s for the Berkshires, mid to upper 40s as well for the Catskills, lower 40s for the Adirondacks, and up through the Green Mountains, and it looks like mid to upper 40s going up to the North Country. So again, not such a bad day out there at all. All right, 7-day forecast as we go for temperatures to wind up in the middle to upper 50s for Thursday with good chance of rain. Then it looks like we should see rain come to an end Friday morning. Lower 50s expected for Friday during the day, and Easter weekend looking great. Saturday 55, 57 for a high on Easter itself. The rabbit's happy. We're happy. Maybe a chance for some rain as we work our way into Monday.
That rabbit is psyched.
He's
Hopping
going,
up and down.
He's going nuts.
He's going
haywire.
He's going haywire. I was about to say haywire, yeah.
All right, at the water cooler today, well, you remember how nervous you were for your first job or job interview? I mean, those can be incredibly
nerve-wracking.
nerve-wracking.
Palms.
Yeah, right? You want to say the right thing? Well, what if your interview consisted of a robbery?
Well,
that would add a little excitement and nervousness to the equation.
Add a little excitement, I'd say. Yeah, this teen in New Orleans went into a local Popeyes and during his interview managed to stop a robbery in progress. Devin Washington says he was sitting down with the two managers when he heard the cashier scream. The thief grabbed the cash and tried to get away when Washington jumped in, tackling the robber, holding him in an arm lock until police got there. Pretty unbelievable.
You're hired.
Yeah, but they hired him. Made a great impression.
They offered him the job. I mean, that's the guy could be a club bouncer too. Look at him; he's a big dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with him.
If you're the robber, you walk into that store, and, or that Popeyes.
Turn on one heel and be like, nope, not today.
Is that like a good luck robbery? I mean. He got the job.
Tell me, what are your references? Well, I just saved you from a robbery, so how's that?
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, security detail. Yeah, if I was getting having a job interview and something like that happened, I think for a split second I would think that it was a setup, like Candid Camera or something.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't take it seriously.
Jimmy Kimmel's trying to get you.
And maybe when I saw a firearm, I think I would change my thinking, but
those bullets are real.
Yeah. All right. Well, good.
Yeah. What's that
good job.
Those bullets are real.
Good job by him. Happening tomorrow, the North Carolina Assembly will return for a special session trying to override new legislation in the state's largest city. Starting next month, Charlotte's non-discrimination ordinance would allow transgender people to use restrooms aligned with their gender identity. Even though the city council did pass the legislation, now that the state is stepping in, the bathroom bill could be overturned.
For them to do this is really incredible to me, that they're willing to compromise their own values in order to legislate discrimination.
I would like to see them overturn this thing. It's ridiculous, and I believe that they're going to do that. They're going to just undo this thing because it's totally insane.
Social conservatives and many Republican lawmakers think the ordinance and city went too far, saying sexual predators will use it as a pretense to enter women's bathrooms. On the other side, gay rights groups want the bill preserved, saying it provides dignity and protections to transgender people who are often subject to intimidation.
More problems for SeaWorld this morning. Now that the amusement park has decided to end its killer whale breeding program, a national animal rights group wants the company to move the remaining orcas to sea sanctuaries. PETA, which actually owns a number of SeaWorld shares, says it will file the shareholders' request next year. Sea sanctuaries are pens that allow orcas to be in the ocean without the total freedom of the wild. SeaWorld CEO says the orcas are best off in the parks, where trainers and veterinarians can care for them.
Kindle users, listen up. The reason why your device might not be able to connect to the internet tomorrow.
And the safety technology you used to only get in luxury cars is now going to be the standard. The car maker making it happen.
And right now we're still following that developing situation happening in Brussels and all over the city. Several explosions there at the airport, another at a metro station. We now know at least 13 are dead. We'll tell you what else we know about the investigation this morning and how the city has been really on edge since last week and why. The Apple Watch turning 1 year old this month, and to celebrate, Apple slashed $50 off the price, bringing it down to just $300. Apple fans expect the company to release a new model of the watch this fall. Starting tomorrow, some Kindles won't be able to access the internet if their software is not up to date. Amazon says if consumers don't update their older e-reader by today, the device will not be able to download books from the cloud or Kindle store and won't be able to connect to the internet. If you wait until after today, you'll have to manually add the update using a desktop computer to regain access. The update affects Kindle models made in 2012 and earlier. Built-in safety technology that used to be available in only the most expensive new vehicles will now be standard on nearly every Lexus and Toyota model. Those enhancements include automated braking, vehicle detection, and lane departure alerts. The car maker says they'll be built into almost every new vehicle by the end of 2017. The mother of a Johnstown boy with a rare medical condition will be sentenced today in court. How long she could go to prison. And the case of Apple versus the FBI now pushed to next month. The new developments that caused the court date delay.
Mixed martial arts as a professional sport may soon be a reality in New York State. I'm Carrie Beeling. Coming up, off more about the legislation and what it could mean for gyms like this.
All right, getting light outside. The sun officially coming up in about 45 minutes from now. A little chilly start to the day, though, 29 degrees. Snow showers overnight have come to an end. A nice day today, but not so great for the rest of the week. Talk about it when we come back.
And another live look here at Brussels, Belgium, where at least 13 people are dead in a series of explosions all over the capital of that country. We'll take you there live, as well as let you know which other country is stepping up security and where. That's coming up after the break.